Hello all, this is Saigai1121 and today I'm here and I'll be doing a mod review of the mod with no name. Um, that's the name. It's actually the mod with no name. It's the name of the mod. And in my opinion, this is actually a pretty cool mod. It adds a good amount of stuff. Why did my keyboard just froze there? It adds a pretty good amount of stuff, and I think you can do some really interesting things with it, as you see around here. And I'll show you what it all is about. So I'm going to start. Let's see, where did I? Okay, I'm going to start in this chest right here. So this is the starting chest right here. Um, and you'll see that we have in this mod several new ores, and the first of which is Zanite ore, or not Zanite, Zagonite ore, and you can smelt this down into a Zagonite ingot, and then you can use 4 Zagonite ingots to create a Zagonite brick. And now this Zagonite ore, if I can find it on my notes sheet, it spawns below level 15, and it's relatively common. I'm not sure what relatively common means, if that's coal or iron, but it spawns below level 15. Now we have the Bimax ingot and ore and bricks. Same thing basically, except the Bimax ore, well, yeah, basically it's the same thing, just a different color and different uses. This spawns below level 15 and is relatively common too. Now we have the titanium ore and ingot, and this titanium ore, it spawns below level 12 and it's rare. That's what the forum thread says, it's rare. And then you can use it to create titanium bricks. The bricks are all really just for decoration, although they are used in recipes. So, for the more advanced stuff in the mod. Now we have platinum ore and platinum ingots and platinum bricks. And platinum, it's the rarest ore in the mod. It spawns below level 8, and it's very rare, as the forum page says. And, I'm not sure. Yeah. And then we have mongolite ore and mongolite dust, which is what it drops. And the ore spawns below level 20, and it's very common. So I guess that's coal rarity. I've never really actually dug around to find any of it. Anyway, so now there's a couple things you can do with titanium. Just at the beginning, once you get it, you can create titanium blocks with 5 titanium in an X and then iron. And these titanium blocks, along with this titanium glass, is completely resistant to TNT. Same thing with the glass, except it's glass instead of iron. So if I actually take this, sorry, I never prepared to blow something up in this mod review, so I'm a bit underprepared for that eventuality, but I think I'm prepared for everything else. So I'm just going to build a little 3x3 platform with glass, and let's blow it up. And you'll see it wasn't harmed at all, and nothing, the leaves below it weren't killed or anything. So that's the titanium blocks and glass. Anyway, now let's go up here. These two items, they can't currently be crafted, or at least it didn't say anything about crafting them. Actually, no. It didn't say anything about crafting the titanium furnace on the page. But the refined titanium ingot, yeah, actually it didn't say anything about either of these. So these can't currently be crafted, and they don't really have a use, as far as I know. Anyway, now let's go on to this side, where we have the contained sunspot and the elliptical lamp. Now, what the contained sunspot is it's basically like glowstone. That's what I have lighting this area up. So if I do time set night, time add there. You'll see this area is very well lit because of these contained sunspots. And the elliptical lamp, what it does is it is a light block, but it creates just enough light for it creates just enough light for, say, mushrooms to grow, but for mobs to not spawn. So it's a pretty cool lighting system if you want to have a mushroom farm or something. Now we get into the more advanced blocks, and these are what's really cool in my opinion about the mod, because they affect movement. So first we have the basic blocks, and this is the velocity propagator and the momentum stabilizer. And so the velocity propagator, it's 8 stone bricks around the outside with platinum blocks in the middle. And I'll show you later what this does. But it basically increases your speed when you're on the block. The momentum stabilizer, it's stone bricks around the outside with titanium blocks in the center. And this will keep you at a constant speed once you've stepped on the block. The one thing I've noticed about that is if I have a large field of them and I keep holding W to speed up, then I will speed up quite a bit. Now we go into the vector repulsor, which is Zagonite bricks around a velocity propagator. And what this does is it forces the player to jump. There is one little thing I've noticed about that where, I'll just show it to you now. If I were to place this down, I don't jump unless I walk right on the center of the block. If I walk to the side, it seems to be fixed now, but I was having issues like that, where I don't jump unless I walk right on the center of the block. So that's the only thing with that block that's an issue. But then there's also the vector alter, and what this does is it bounces you back when you step on the block. Now, about this block, I have noticed that it just doesn't work when I use it for whatever reason. If I place this down, it doesn't seem to work at all. So that's probably, those two are the only bugs in the mod. And finally we have the velocity negator, which is a vector repulsor, sand, and Zagonite blocks around it. And what this does is it slows the player like soul sand. Good for breaks, which for stuff like I'll show you right now. So anyway, now I'm going to get into some of the cool things you can do with these blocks. So, time set day. Okay. Anyway, so the first thing I did is I built a little elevator type thing, or it's not really an elevator, but what it does is I'll just show you how it works. If you hold down, and there we go. So sometimes it doesn't work, but if you hold down W while you're walking on it, it'll just take you up and very quickly up to this level. It's a lot faster than using stairs or a ladder. And if you had a really long, if you had a really tall building full of these, that could be pretty interesting. That's just one use for the jumping blocks, and I'll show you another one right now. So here I have a little, I call this the jumping platform, and I have a velocity negator right here, so that slows me down. If I walk across it, you'll see it sort of slowed me down. But then I have a long track of the vector propagators, or velocity propagators, sorry, to speed you up, and then the jumping blocks with the long field of them, because they don't always work, to have you jump as far as possible. So this is a obviously, if you were in survival mode, this would kill you, but in creative mode, it's a good way to get around. And I didn't really jump there. I landed. This is where I usually land, so I landed right there. With that, do they have this? No. They really need to add the /jump command into the game, in my opinion. But if I can get it to jump, maybe I was jumping. But anyway, you can see I traveled quite a ways. That's probably 150 blocks. So that's a pretty interesting use for all these blocks. And of course, you could just have little auto movers. If I can do the momentum stabilizer, you could just build a little escalator, or not escalator, but I know in American airports they have sometimes these things like where you just have a moving conveyor belt sort of thing on the ground. If people have really big bags or something, so they can just step on it and it'll do that. So that's an interesting use for the momentum stabilizer. And you could theoretically just have a velocity propagator right in front of it and have it speed you up, and then it's a lot faster. So this is pretty much everything, I think, that is in the mod currently. It's currently in beta, I believe. So, oh, you know what? I forgot a lot of stuff, actually. I completely forgot I had this room. Anyway, so here I have the items in the mod. So first you can use the Bimax ingots, only the Bimax ingots, to create tools. And I don't know quite the destruction power of these tools. I'm not sure what this pickaxe can and can't mine, but you can create pickaxe, shovel, axe, and swords out of it. You can also create in the mod the Ender Cookie, and what this does, it's basically a food. I'm not quite sure how much it fills up, and I'm not planning to run around and test that, because that would take a while, and I just don't have the time for that. But then you can also make the titanium pickaxe, but no other titanium shovels or any of that. So then we also have the pork chop version XX, and that is a pork chop, 2 cakes, rotten flesh, and titanium fuel, which is right here. It's just coal and a titanium ingot to create titanium fuel. Now, I'm not sure, and I'll test this out now, if I can use this titanium fuel to furnace, to power a normal furnace. I think I can, but I think I can. But I'll just test that out right now. And yes, I can. So you can see it lasts quite a while. It's not going down much at all. So the titanium fuel lasts a very long time, and it can be used to make the pork chop version version XX, and then you cook this to create the cooked pork chop version XX. And I'm not sure as to the properties of these. It didn't say anything on the forum page, and I don't want to run around and make myself hungry in survival mode to eat them, because that just takes too long. So yeah, I think that's basically everything in the mod. The mod is currently in beta, so there will be a lot more stuff probably added in the future. I'll put a link in the description below to the forum thread with this mod, and it is actually created by one of you guys, the Mr. Buildcast. I'll put a link to his YouTube channel right here in the center of the screen. So yeah, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time. Bye.